My boss tried to unalive me at work today. I'm allergic to hand sanitizer, alcoholic wipes, generally anything that has alcohol-based products. I even bring my own soap because I can have a reaction to some soaps. I can't even drink the stuff without my lips swelling. My old boss, who was my cousin, so when COVID hit I didn't really have a problem until my cousin got promoted and got transferred to a new office. Enter our new boss. We got a mass email going over our new COVID safety procedures, and one of the new procedures is that we all have to use hand sanitizer and antiseptic wipes. I sent an email to HR telling them about my allergies with medical documents. They sent back saying that I don't have to use the hand sanitizer and antiseptic wipes and that they put it in my file. However, they sent the exact email to my new boss. He replied saying that all employees have to follow the new COVID safety procedures, no exceptions. When I replied that if I use those products I will need medical assistance, he then sent me another email saying that if any employee doesn't follow the new COVID safety procedures correctly, that they would be fired. I sent copies of the emails to our union rep and HR department, to which they replied that they would talk to him and kinda told me to ignore him unless he tries to actually fire me. So I go into work and my new boss is literally waiting for me at my desk with a bottle of hand sanitizer in his hands, asking me to hold out my hands. I did reply saying, "No thanks, I'd rather not go to the hospital today." He got mad and literally grabbed my hand and squirted sanitizer on it and then rubbed it in. Said, "See, that wasn't so bad." I tried to go to the bathroom to wash it off, but he blocked me. Well, I had a bad reaction. Thank God I had an EpiPen in my desk. My boss kept saying he thought I was lying and kept saying that until I was put into an ambulance and couldn't hear him. A member of HR department and the legal department came to visit me in the hospital, probably making sure I don't sue, and informed me that he was fired. The woman from HR department also said that they called the police on my behalf and I should be getting a visit from them soon. I can't talk about it now that it's an ongoing investigation. ETA, I'm in Australia, so no medical fees. I'm not happy about the EpiPen, $40, because they're expensive. Also, cops won't tell me anything, and that's frustrating. They did tell me that he's been ordered to stay away from me, so he must be out of jail if he was ordered to stay away, right? I'm still in the hospital, hoping to be released today or tomorrow at the latest. I'll update when I get more information. Comment. User 1. EpiPen costs in the US $500. OP. Dang, I thought $40 was expensive. Update. OP's hospital stay is extended. Why do people have to be entitled selfish idiots? I'm in the hospital due to allergic reaction due to my entitled boss, but that's a different story altogether. I'm allergic to alcohol and alcohol-based products. I can usually handle small things like women or men's perfume/cologne. Nothing an over-the-counter antihistamine won't cure. However, when you have an allergic reaction, your immune system is compromised. So what was a mild inconvenience to me, it's now quite deadly. I was in a private room so I won't be exposed to my allergen and had signs all over inside to tell people that I can't be in contact with it. That didn't stop a patient from walking into my room because she needed to use the toilet with so much perfume on that I had another reaction. Now I have to stay in the hospital longer. Comment. User 1. I hope someone screamed at them a few times. OP. Oh, the nurses went apecrap on them. I have never seen so many people call her a freaking idiot without actually saying the words. It's almost like all the nurses took a class or something. Update. I think my ex-boss's mother tried to bribe me. My ex-boss got arrested for purposely exposing me to my allergen. I have no clue how she got my address. When my husband and I got home, ex-boss's mother was sitting on my lounge. MIL let her in. She lied and said she was a solicitor. I'm going to try writing our conversation. EM. Hello, my name is Mrs. Blank, ex-boss's mother. I'd like to discuss this big misunderstanding that you and my son had. Me. Yeah, well, I don't. You know where the door is. EM. I'm not leaving until we've all come to an agreement. H. My husband asked you to leave, now get the heck out or I call the cops. EM. I said I'm not leaving until we've discussed this misunderstanding. I'm sure we can come to an agreement. MIL. If you don't leave, I'll throw you out. H. I'm calling 000. EM. Fine, I'll go, but I'll be back. The way she kept saying the word agreement, I'm sure she was trying to bribe us. which is stupid. I don't think I could do anything even if I wanted to. It's so surreal. I mean, this kind of stuff happens in TV shows, but not in real life. I hope we don't have any more drama. Thanks for letting me vent. Update. I got some questions about the assault my ex-boss did to me. If my ex-boss was told to stay away from me, I don't know if that was an order or a suggestion. If it was an order, does that mean his family? If it's a suggestion, how can I make it an order? His mother gained access to my house by telling my MIL that she was a solicitor. Is that a crime? We got it on the Ring doorbell saying that was one. I think she was trying to bribe me, but she never actually said it directly. So can the police do anything? I'm waiting for my husband to get home from work so we can go to the police station together with MIL. Should we take a copy of our Ring doorbell, or would they want to do that themselves? Should I get my own solicitor or let the Crown handle it? Thanks for any advice. Update. Boss tried to kill me and my ex-boss's mom tried to bribe me. Recap. Work was coming back to in-office work and it implicated some new policy because of the pandemic. I'm allergic to alcoholic-based products, so HR said I'm exempt from policy, but my boss thought he knew better and purposely exposed me to my allergen, which landed me in the hospital, and him arrested and fired. When I got home from the hospital and my ex's boss's mom is sitting on my lounge, told my MIL that she was a solicitor, where she tried to bribe me where my husband showed her the door. On to the updates. First, the mother. Turns out she's actually a solicitor. She didn't misrepresent herself, but luck would have it that we got the attempted bribe on camera. A couple of months before all of this, my SIL got caught up in Queensland when the borders closed and asked my husband and I to dog sit for her. She had him in a kennel, but she was supposed to be gone for a week, and we could even use her dog cam while we're out of the house. She comes to get the dog, but forgot the dog cam. However, she never actually said the exact words, so she wasn't charged for it. But my FIL, who's kinda wealthy and knows everyone, got in touch with her bosses and she was fired. And now she has to answer to some board or something where she might not be able to practice law anymore. Truth be told, I really don't think anything will come of it, and she probably just works for a different firm in the end, but it's fun to imagine. On to my ex-boss. He took a deal and he's going to jail only for 6 months. He'll probably be out in 3, but it's better than nothing, right? I have a restraining order out on him and his mother. My FIL thinks I should sue him. He's the scorch the earth type of person, but I don't see the point. He has no chance of working in the same industry now that he has a criminal record, and I don't know how many office-type jobs would overlook a criminal record, especially when said record involves a subordinate. Work gave me a raise and a bonus I get work from home apparently now, so yay. Over the next 5 years, we all will be working from home, but I get to be first. So that's it really. The only thing that's concerning me now is that the dog cam records and saves to my SIL cloud account, and SIL isn't the only one who forgot about the dog cam, but I think that's for a different subreddit. Best wishes to all you wonderful people who gave advice and made me laugh. Holy crap, what a big ordeal that came out of just one little request. OP's like, yeah, I can't use the sanitizer or the alcoholic wipes and all that. I hope that's okay. HR says, yeah, that's no big deal. However, the big bad boss is like, just come here for a second. Come into my office, close the door. I'm going to just see if you're really lying. And he shoves a bunch of sanitizer onto him or her. And then they go to the freaking hospital and now he's in jail. I mean, what kind of freaking, did he get points? Did he get commission? Why even try to prove a point and rub that into somebody's skin? What an absolute idiot. And, sorry for OP. I'm glad that he or she got good in the end, got to work from home and, there's restraining orders. Boss went to jail, got a raise, got a bonus. Everything works out in the end, but, nobody likes to go to the hospital. That sucks. And near-death experiences are pretty traumatizing. So glad it worked out in the end. I'm sure it probably wasn't worth it, but it's good when there's a happy ending. Story 2. Ex-wife wants to try again. Hello guys. My wife and I divorced 5 years ago. It was an amicable divorce with no resentment on either side. Simply, we were too young and she had to move away for her career. We kept some contact over the years. Last year, I lost both my parents in quick succession. I did my best to tough it out, but it's not easy. When ex-wife heard of it, she immediately reached out and supported me. Thanks to her, I pulled myself back up. Now, we have obviously started to reconnect, and she asked if we can try again, now that we are both more mature and in better places. Not get married again right away, but rekindle our relationship. I feel conflicted. I did not completely lose my feelings for her, but recently I've started dating a girl and she knows this. She said she doesn't want to put me in the uncomfortable position of choosing, but that's what she's doing. I don't know how to proceed. With the other girl, we are just in the early dating stage, so my ex-wife is not intruding on an established relationship. Relevant comments. User 1. People do grow and sometimes come back together after divorce. You are now wiser. My personal opinion is to put your dating relationship on hold until you sort this out. Good luck, OP. You are right. I'm not a player, and I want to be transparent with both of them. Ex-wife had a funny way of putting it. She said it's like a job interview, and I have to pick whom I think it's the best candidate. Update. Ex-wife asked me out on a date 2 days later. My ex-wife and I divorced 5 years ago. Divorce was clean and amicable, so no hard feelings. She reconnected with me last year after my parents' death and recently asked if I consider giving her another shot. Today she told me she got tickets to the opera for next Saturday. I love opera and classical music, and invited me. She also proposed to have a dinner at the restaurant before the show. Does this mean she's serious about us? When she sprung the idea on me, I had already started casually dating another girl. She likewise sees other people. If she's really serious about us, I am thinking of breaking it off with the other girl. Additional info from OP. Basically, she said she recognizes she didn't behave fairly with me and wants to at least try to make things right. That she sees we both matured and have a real shot at making it. Update. 9 days after last update. Hello, just letting you guys know that we had our date and she just dropped me off at my place. She came to pick me up with her car. She was beautiful. I mean, she always is, but in her dress, she was breathtaking. First, we went to dinner, then to the opera. She insisted she paid for everything. I know she can afford it with her career, but she was adamant that since she asked me out, the tab was hers. I think she studied the whole thing in details to win me back, and honestly, she's already succeeding. We talked a bit in her car before she left me and shared a small kiss. I do think she is dang serious about giving us a second chance. She even thanked me for accepting her asking me out, adding some details about our divorce. It wasn't due to cheating or anything traumatic. She was pursuing her career and we drifted away. She said she came to regret leaving me and not fighting for our marriage, especially after some really bad experiences she had with the guys after me. I do think she is sincere and her motives are genuine. I am comfortable financially, but she's become way more wealthy than me, which is fine since she worked hard for her career. I don't have any resentment towards her leaving me. I had some at first, but being on my own helped me mature and experience new things in relationships. I did pop her the $1 million question. If I take her back, could she still leave me out of the blue? She replied she learned to never make the same mistake twice. I feel fuzzy, hopeful maybe, and my head won't stop spinning. Additional info from OP. One thing I forgot regarding the girl I was dating before ex-wife and I reconnected. She knew about this, and although both her and ex-wife said that for now I don't have to be exclusive, I am going to talk with her and end things. We just casually dated, so I don't think she'll be heartbroken. She was seeing other guys too. But I'm not a player and I don't want to lead her on, especially if things progress with ex-wife. Relevant comments. User 1. Agreed. If you want to make things work with the ex-wife, it has to be just you and her. OP. That's what I think. She said she's not asking me to be exclusive right away, but I think that having another girl on the back burner is not right. Update. I asked my ex-wife out on a date. Hey guys, it's me again. Some of you said that after last Saturday's amazing date she took me out on, the ball was in my court. So I made my move and invited her out this Saturday too. I was thinking of taking her to a beautiful historical village in our area, which is also holding a festival for the spring. I was a bit nervous about asking her because it's not as fancy or as exquisite as what she did for me, but she immediately said she would love seeing the village. There's more. She mentioned she had a client scheduled on Saturday morning, but she assured me she was rescheduling said client so we could have the whole day together. I was dumbfounded. Back when we were married, she was adamant that her career was her priority, and now she's chosen me over something related to her career. I don't have my parents anymore, but my sister and my aunt are still here for me, and generally they always saw right through people. They agree that she's not just serious about us having another go, she is dang serious. Some of you commented or asked about her financial situation. Like I said, I am comfortable financially and I enjoy my own career. She's become very, very successful financially. She has 2 cars, which are more than what I make in a year, and her place is one of those new, ultra-modern mini mansions. I admit this intimidated me a bit at first, but I told myself if she reconnected with me, it was because of me as a person and not my status. So I am doing the same. although I genuinely admire what she achieved. Also, to address some guys implying that she had fun and dated around in the last 5 years, it's not like I sat in a dark room all alone all that time. I dated, had my flings, even a 2-year relationship, so I too come with some extra mileage. But what matters now is that we both want to give us another try. I wasn't sure about my feelings towards her some days ago, but now I know that I still love her and never stopped, and she most likely feels the same. Maybe I do have the head in the clouds for now, but I am determined to show her she made the right choice in reconnecting with me, and we can overcome any obstacle we might find on our path. I feel that this time it will be different. Anyhow, for now I'll just focus on having fun together on this date and many more to come. Relevant comments. User 1. Why not? You both are grown adults. My advice would be to take things slow and enjoy the ride. See where it takes you. If you both are meant to be, then you are meant to be. Just don't confuse lust with love, and you both are in a unique situation here. You aren't strangers. You both know what didn't work out and what did. See how it goes. All the best. OP. Thank you. I agree with the advice of not getting confused into lust, and I believe we have matured to the point we can sit down and find a solution for any problem that might arise in the future. User 2. Just be sure y'all talk through things that cause stress and eventually ruined the relationship. Canceling work plans now when the relationship is in the infancy and honeymoon phase exists is nice, but will she still feel the same way and prioritize you when y'all have settled into the relationship? I think it's really important y'all discuss what didn't work for each other the last rodeo and be sure those same relationship patterns don't exist. If she really is married to her work, so to speak, then it may explain why she struggled to find a partner. Maybe you were the only one that tolerated it the longest as compared to others. And would you be okay with it if it's still her priority now? OP. You make very good points. Our marriage basically broke down because she wanted us to move to another country for 2 years for her career, and I had misgivings about it. So she went off alone. We talked about this. I asked if the situation could happen again. She said she might have to take business trips, but nothing longer than a week, and even then, no more than a couple of times per year. I'm willing to work with that. Update. 4 days after the last update. Hello guys, I'm back. Many wanted to know how it went. We had a very fun date and an amazing weekend. We were supposed to get back home and/or end the date in the afternoon, but got so caught up in the festival's activities, then I wanted to show her a popular landmark in the area. Then we got back at the festival in the evening. It was almost midnight when we got back, and long story short, I ended up spending the night at her place. Maybe it's the afterglow speaking, but I think we could really have something good going. We agree that we both have matured from 5 years ago, and the feelings we had for each other never went away, but we have also changed as people, so of course it's different now, and in a good way. I guess that the only thing to do is to go forward and see where this leads. I'm quite optimistic, but I also understand we have to communicate and be careful to not fall back in the same issues that ended our first relationship. Of course, we aren't talking of remarrying anytime soon, and we very well could not remarry at all. We'll take our time and see where this relationship leads. Wish us good luck. New updates. Update. Ex-wife says I haven't changed at all. For context, we have been divorced for 5 years. She reconnected with me last year and we started dating last month. Things are quite good for now, but like many people said, we are still in the honeymoon phase, so it's way too soon to tell. We mostly go out on fun dates, and we celebrated Easter with my sister and aunt, whom welcomed her back with open arms. We ended up talking in her car as she drove me home. I swear guys, I have my own car and license, but she always insists on driving herself. Maybe I was a bit tipsy and I told her how much she's changed in personality and appearance and standing. She said I changed a little, if not at all, and that's why she wanted to get back with me. She said I think I have changed, but she saw I am still the same optimistic, kind-hearted, fun guy she knew, especially after she saw how I am dealing with losing both my parents and how I dealt with another deep loss 2 years ago. I thought I had grown a bit jaded and maybe pessimistic those years, but she said it's not the case. She says I have matured, but deep down I am the same. I think she too has matured in those years, way more than me. Just sharing some thoughts. Update. Ex-wife asked me to move in with her. Hello guys, hope you are all doing well. My ex-wife of 5 years reached out to me last year after my parents' passing, and she's been a support for me ever since. Last February, we resumed our relationship and things are going pretty well. We did talk about our new relationship in the long term, and we've agreed we are in no haste to get remarried anytime soon. However, she would like for us to explore the theme of children at some point in the future, a couple of years. The topic of children is a bit sensitive for me because I lost a child in a previous relationship with another woman while we were divorced, miscarriage, and it was heavy. However, I would be open to get on the topic if things keep going well in the next couple of years. Ex-wife knows about this and has been very respectful about it, and agrees that now it's definitely too soon. However, she wanted to put all her cards on the table, and I appreciate her being straightforward. She asked me to consider moving in with her full-time at some point this year. Her house is very spacious, and she says it's too big for her alone. As of now, I sleep at her place a couple of days a week, and she sleeps at mine on the weekends. We are also planning a long romantic weekend at my parents' house for the next week, so things are good. We got the serious talk, but for now we will keep taking things slowly, enjoy each other, and exploring our new relationship. At this point, I am not even sure if I should call her ex-wife anymore. She says that girlfriend is just fine. Love, take these thoughts that I'm thinking, love, take these words that I'm speaking. Dude, I love love. I mean, I don't ever think I realized how much of a romantic I was until you start reading these stories and rooting for these people so heavily, and then the idea of not even star-crossed lovers, but maybe they were before, they star-crossed, then they uncrossed, and now they're crossing back. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful thing, and I think it kind of speaks to sometimes, you do have a way of reconnecting with that soulmate. Sometimes you find the right person at the wrong time, and it sucks, and you wish you're at that point of maturity that you're willing to just stay in it and stay loyal and faithful and work through it no matter how tough it is. And, he said they got married way too young. And unfortunately, maturity and wisdom comes with age. So it sucks that it kind of fizzled out, but to be able to come back and be like, no, this was good. This is what we need. I love you and I will always love you. And that's just, I'm so happy for him, man. I think it's beautiful. And the best part about these happy ending stories is that there's not even a side to take. There's not really an opinion to give. It's not who's the butthole, who's in the wrong, who's this, who's that. No, they're both great. They both made do and they're both happy. And that's all you can wish for. I feel good. You know what? I'll be back. I'm going to go buy my girlfriend some flowers. Story 3. My colleagues call me a pick-me girl and spread rumors about me which greatly affected my self-image. I, 24-year-old female, am a flight attendant at a certain Middle Eastern company. I got a visa to China because they have the best flights. Long flights, long layovers, the best passengers. Every FA will know why. It so happens that one of first officers is always bidding to China because, as I said, best flight. I happen to be very often with almost the same group of crew plus pilot plus first officer every month at least once. FO is a young, handsome man, and ladies have an eye on him. We were sitting once at the airport waiting for our plane to arrive. We were going to take the plane from another crew who would be on layover until next group arrives, and I was playing games on my console. FO noticed, and he sat next to me and started to ask me what I play besides this. And that's how our little friendship started. He would always sit near me and watch me play, and we started bringing our laptops to game in the lobby of our hotel because it has good internet, and we have 2 to 3 day layovers in Beijing. Nothing much to do after you've been many times. Anyway, as we started to talk about games, ladies started to interrogate me about the nature of our relationship. Then last week, we were again in the lobby. Internet was good. We played a certain 5-on-5 game you all know. We sat across from each other, 4 people separate. 2 ladies from crew came and sat with us. One sat beside me, another sat next to him. They started to talk to us and we barely answered because we were focused. They were questioning him mostly. They'd ask me something too. Then after we both died in-game, I asked them to please leave us alone and come after match is done, which will be in around 40 to 50 minutes, then they can talk. I indicated that I will leave and they can talk to FO. They got a bit shocked by my reaction, but they left. After the match was done, I said, I'm going back to my room. He said he will go too. I told him girls will look for him. He said, and I quote, yeah, I better go ASAP. And we both left to our respective rooms. The next day, all the girls gave me the cold shoulder. They were talking passive-aggressively to me, and when we were in the lobby kind of area after breaking our fast, someone brought sweets and fruits. I took a sour apple and some other sour fruits. I get pimples from sweets. FO told me that it's a weird choice for dessert, and that's when one of the ladies said in front of the whole crew in a very sarcastic tone, yeah, that's because she's so special, so different, not like us other girls. And another one rolled her eyes very aggressively and almost yelled, did he pick you already? Very awkward. This shocked me so much that I don't even recall what happened afterwards. Anyway, they, woman, don't talk to me now at all. And I also heard rumors that I'm sleeping with the FO, which is not true at all. One of the male crew told me that I told him how I sent 2 girls away and told them to come back later, but before they returned, I took FO to my room. Not true. This all makes me not want to go to my flights. It makes me want to change route even though this one is really the best for me. For days I feel like I have a rat in my stomach and am watching short videos of pick-me girls and I feel like crying. At first I didn't let it get to me, but it got to me. I want to rip off my skin and crawl under my bed. I feel like throwing up all the time. Relevant comments. User 1. Tell the FO what happened. OP. I feel like if I do, it will be a snitch who is crying to a man in authority over something stupid. Women's stuff, as they call it whenever something happens between women. It's like it's not significant, and I'm afraid they will decapitate me if I snitch. User 2. They are bullies and you are not a pick-me. Don't let them steal something nice from you. I suggest you report them too, as spreading malicious rumors is not acceptable behavior in any work environment, or any environment for that matter. Then at least you have it on record in case they start spreading worse rumors. Example, you being unprofessional, drinking on the job, stealing, etc. Report them now to stay one step ahead of their malicious intentions, because you never know, they may try to escalate it in order to get rid of you. And maybe say to your pal, just a heads up, but they are spreading rumors about us. OP. Oh my gosh, I haven't thought about this. I actually read your comment 2 hours ago and it made me talk to FO. Insane stuff went on. I'll write an update. Thank you for this view. I was so stressed I didn't think of this. User 3. They are jealous and are trying to put you down so they can feel better about themselves. They act like they're in high school. You sound like someone he prefers to hang out with without the drama and he's actually having fun. Be kind to yourself. OP. Thank you for your kind comment. Yes, I prefer no drama. However, I got pulled into a whole lot of drama. There are talks about a lawsuit. I did not see any of this coming. Update 1. Oh my gosh, you guys. This whole situation spiraled more than I could have ever imagined. Small thing became an avalanche. So someone commented how these women could make up stuff about me stealing and other things that could get me in serious trouble. So I eventually decided to text FO to call me ASAP because he was operating a flight at the time and that there's an important matter we need to discuss. When he called me, I told him that XYZ people are spreading stories about us sleeping together during a layover. He said that he knows about it and that he dealt with it. I was confused. Asked, what does he mean by that? He said that he wrote a letter to the management. In this letter, he addressed the fact that a certain crew member, me, was being verbally harassed by their position on that flight. He noted how he actually warned them politely and privately. I had no idea about that. And that captain actually gave him permission to do it in his name. When the harassing continued, he also found out from 3 male crew members, including cabin manager. When the harassing continued, he also found out from 3 male crew members, including cabin manager, and 1 flight deck member, pilot in command, that each one of them was personally told by these women that FO slept with me during layover that week. Not only was he angry that they continued to do this to me, he was actually personally offended by the slander, especially that they accused us during the holy month of Ramadan. He wrote a letter and made all above mentioned crew members and pilots sign it. Captain put his stamp on it, and FO did too. He told me that slandering a woman, and man, but mainly woman, without 4 male witnesses is actually a crime in the country where we are based, and he had all then present men sign, then couldn't make them testify against us but for us. And our company's policy is that if there's a criminal lawsuit, not civil lawsuit, filed against any of the flight operating employees, their contracts will be terminated without further notice. So he wrote in the letter that he requests these crew members be banned from international layovers for 6 months and that they operate standby. You don't have a specific lane schedule. You must be ready 12 hours of each day to be called to any random flight, but for them, only domestic. You have 1 hour to appear at the airport. Also, you're paid much less. This is hell, by the way, for 6 months. He then continued to say that management has only 3 options: to do as he requested, to terminate them right away, or to do nothing and have him file the lawsuit and their contracts will be terminated by default. And if he does file in a lawsuit, people who make up adultery stories might get 6 months in jail. He copied the letter, had men sign each one of them. He sent 1 copy to each guy and to the management. He kept the original. He told me that management will call me after EID and that I confirm everything they ask me and that he will send me a copy of the letter as well. I am beyond shocked. I am petrified. All I did was my job and play games in my paid free time. I never had any intentions to be part of someone's termination or lawsuit, and I had no idea how seriously he took this matter. Too seriously. I am literally beyond shocked right now and scared as well. I don't feel my legs and I'm shaking. I threw up after the call ended. I also asked him why the heck did he take such drastic measures. He said that I am unaware of what these stories can do to our reputation and if they reach the wrong ears, even more than just reputation. And he said, and they made you cry. It's not drastic enough. Relevant comments. User 1. It's also his reputation that he has to protect. OP. True, but to be honest, pilots, both captains and officers, are known to sleep around with no shame. With pride, actually. Both married and single ones. It's a common knowledge. I guess this one cares though. I'm glad at least. Someone else would say, yeah, we did sleep together, even though we didn't. Though the whole situation makes me really nervous and uneasy. User 2. Former airline manager here. Your FO is doing a great service for himself and you. I wish we had more of that type of professionalism at my previous American carrier. He sounds ex-military in how he assessed the situation and handled it corporately. My work experience is majority airline, and I can say without a shadow of a doubt, reputation carries. Dang near forever. We even get word about employees from other airlines, and that has negatively, wrongfully, I might add, impacted people with their professional aspirations. I'm not even going to start with how it's affected people personally. OP. He has a law degree as well. Aviation was his secondary call actually. He explained to me everything very slowly and clearly in a language I understood. But to this moment I am surprised how the heck I appeared in the midst of this fiasco. Nonetheless, he is something else. I asked him what does he think will happen, and he said he does not think company will let him file in a lawsuit because the story might leak out. It's a really bad look on them as well. And if they keep them and their punishment expires, by then he will already be the captain and of course continue to bid for China flights. If he sees any of them on his flight, he will have the right to reject them at the airport, which he will do. When asked why, he has the original document he made and it's completely legit according to the company's policy. He really holds grudges against them. It did not seem like that when it all happened, or I haven't noticed. So he said they will either terminate them or they will take his request but revoke their China visa from the system. But given that they might end up with him on other flights and he will for sure kick them, he believes they will be terminated. Either way, safe to say that I will not see them in China anymore. New updates. Update number 2. Hello! For anyone curious about the story, 2 parts are attached on this profile. Update. You guys! So much happened these days, I don't even know where to start. Also, I am sorry this is a very anticlimactic story. Not what most of y'all probably wanted to hear, and I'm sorry I didn't answer everyone's DMs. I got no time. 2 parts of update. First update about colleagues. I got a call. Management didn't make me much fuss. They decided to let them go because they cannot keep someone who did an actual crime, and the FO seems to hold grudges. By the way, I'm on good terms with women from management with whom I talked to, and she informally told me that management knows that FO will make them troubles. So it's cheaper to let go of them now than to have to deal with him in the future. Update 2. Personal, since some of you really wanted to know and sent private messages. Okay, so basically, I had a flight on Tuesday to Germany and had layover till Thursday. During this flight and layover, I was not with FO on flight as we never get flight together outside of China lane. However, cabin manager, let's call him guest director, GD for short, is one of my bosses on flight who sometimes is on lane for China. He is with us like 40 to 30% of the time. Anyway, when this entire situation happened, pretty much the entire group that goes to China frequently found out about what happened, and it was clarified that FO and I are not together. Anyway, on my layover in Germany, I was again doing as I usually do, gaming in the lobby when GD came over. He watched me play and we talked a bit. When I finished the match, he asked me if I would like to go bowling with him. We were always distant friendly on flights. He would sometimes be with us in lobby, but we never spent one-on-one time. Anyway, I left to my room, got ready, met him in the lobby at around 8:30 p.m. We went, did bowling till like 10:30. Then he suggested we go eat something. Blah blah, I'll spare you the details. GD asked me to confirm to him if I was with FO. I told him no, and why is he asking? He said he liked me from one event that happened a while ago. Won't go into detail, but he said he always thought that I was actually with FO, but nobody brought it up. Turns out everyone just thought that. I was a bit stunned for a moment. I told him that I am flattered. He asked me if I liked him. I told him that I do find him attractive and charming, which he really is, but that right now I'm going through a lot of stress and he caught me off guard. He was very chill about it. He continued to flirt with me throughout the night in a very non-pushy manner. Very light, almost playful flirts. We saw each other again on Friday. Friday night comes, I'm at home, I did some gaming. FO was online with 3 other people. I entered the call. We did a little gaming, didn't talk much. He was very reserved, answered shortly. I later called him privately to ask what's up. He says that he's busy right now. I asked him to call me back when he's done. He did not. Sunday, we have China Lane. On flight, he didn't acknowledge me. During layover, I was alone. He did not appear in the lobby, so I tried calling him. No answer. I went to reception, asked FO's room number, as they already know us well. She gave it to me in trust. I go to his room, and not gonna lie, on the way over there, I was nervous about what or whom I'll find in his room. I knock, he's alone. I asked him if there's something wrong. He says that there is. I asked him to talk. He told me to go away from his room and wait for him in the lobby. Anyhow, I asked him what is up, why he is being distant. He says he thinks it's inappropriate for him to be around me further. I was confused. He then explains everything by simply asking me if I had fun in Germany. I felt like I was in a relationship and just got caught cheating. I asked him what does that have to do with anything or who told him about it. He tells me that it has everything to do with it, and that unlike, he says word in his language, which basically an insult to man, like calling another man not man, GD, he does not run after a woman who is with another guy. Turns out he knew about Germany, he knew about our date in base, and he was bitter about it. Plus, appears that GD and FO have some beef from before. I asked him if he viewed me more than just a friend, and he gave me a look. You stupid or something? And asked me if I was kidding. I told him I genuinely had no idea. He then brought up a bunch of stuff he did for me that, when he says it, does make it obvious. But when you're being me, it wasn't obvious. I asked why he never told me. He said he made such obvious moves around me and I never reciprocated, not even a bit. And when I went with GD with no hesitation, no thought how it might look to him, he figured I had no interest in him and wanted the other guy, so he simply left me alone. I told him that I was not with the GD. He told me that had it been just a random one layover going out, okay, but I went again when I reached base, I obviously was into him. I just stared at him. I mumbled that I am not with him and that nothing had happened, and he got annoyed. He snatched my phone from the table, unlocked it as he knew the password, opened the first social media apps, and found GD's chat right at the top. He turned to the phone, showed me, and said, "Last text 40 minutes ago. That's all I need to know. I won't be anyone's afterthought." I was shocked to say the least. Still am. This guy does not look like someone who would go for me at all. I stupidly asked him if that's it. He said that's it. I was dumbfounded, and I don't know why. I just stood up, took my phone like an idiot, and walked away. I'm still processing the whole situation. Don't know what to think, feel, or do. After this conversation, I just feel like I got punched in the guts. Just a few days ago, I was not even considering that we were a possibility. I am still here. I have no one to talk to about this, so I'm just venting. On breakfast, he sat very far away from me, did not look at me. I feel sick to my stomach. 4 p.m., I haven't seen him around at all. Update 3. Final update. Previous posts on profile. Final update. Last night at around 2 a.m., I was being miserable when I got a call from FO. I picked up the call. He asked me if he woke me up. I said that I was awake. He asked if I ate anything. I said no. He then asks if it's okay that he comes to my room. I said yeah. Seconds later, he's knocking on my door with takeout. I let him inside. It was awkward at first. He said he couldn't sleep nor eat, thought I might be having the same issue, so he brought us takeout, and added that he wanted to clear things out. And we did. He apologized for his behavior, for snatching my phone, and said how besides it being a turd move, he shouldn't have acted his anger, especially given the fact that he's a pilot. He must act better than angry. He asked if I had feelings for GD. I said that I didn't. He asked me why am I still texting him. I told him there was no specific reason, I just needed a distraction because these few months and days were too much for me, and we don't talk much anyway. I didn't see my family in a half year, was alone on EID, he was just there, available. That's it. He asked if we kissed or anything. I said the truth. We didn't. Anyhow, he then explained to me that he fell for me a while ago, nearly 2 years ago when he still had a lot to go to become the captain. He told me how he questioned me here and there to see my views on the world. He said how I told him a few times just randomly that I've never been in a relationship, I do not want a long relationship, and if I do find a man that is good for me, I want it to end in marriage, as much as possible in accordance to our religion. He then continued to say how regardless of his last name and his family's wealth, he actually is paying his own debt for all the schooling abroad, and the debt was big. His father did not support his aviation dreams, sees pilots to be a little more than truck drivers. At the time, nearly 2 years ago, he had so much yet to pay and he was so far from becoming the captain. He said that now he is just a few more lanes from 4 stripes. He was actually going to ask me to go official for just a few months for him to pay his debt so that he can completely focus on us. He never bothered to do it directly because I didn't go out with any guy, didn't communicate with any other guy more than he was comfortable seeing. He kinda took me for granted, security that cannot go away. And now that he is so close to getting a promotion, he heard that I went out with another dude. And to pour vinegar on the wound, that guy happens to be a dude he mortally hates. That's why he reacted the way he did and felt like all of our bonding over the past nearly 2 years went to drain for GD out of all people. I apologized to him for his entire situation and told him that I thought I am hardcore cemented in friend zone given that he was around me for such a long time but never made an official move. I thought he behaved just how men naturally behave around women. He said he is not upset with me anymore and said how we already know each other so well and asked if I consider him to be a suitable man for myself. I said that I do. He asked me if I would end my private contact with the GD. I said that I would. He asked me if I would sign the engagement contract to be legally his fiancé within a few days, so that our official relationship will be engagement and actually ends in marriage as soon as he pays his loans. I said that I would. He told me what more he can pay at once or if I want another amount he could pay within some time. I said that I accept whatever he can do and won't burden him. He ended with saying, "Is this clear enough for you, madam? Are we official?" I laughed and said that now it is, and yes, we are. And I took my phone, called the GD in front of him. He was like, "What the heck you doing?" I turned on the speaker, showed him the sign to be silent. I talked to the GD, explained to him in short what happened, and he actually started laughing. I could hear he was smiling. He told me that even though FO is a turd, he is actually happy for us and that he thinks FO is one for me and that he will make me happy. I asked if he was angry at all. He said no and how he felt like he won't get much warmth from someone else's son anyway. GD apologized if he caused issues between us and said it was 100% his intention at first, but he thinks I'm a good girl and it's haram to do this to me. Wished us both good luck and safe flight back home. I ended the call. My FO made a surprised face but didn't say anything. He told me that he was nervous about operating a flight with no sleep and no food, and he knew this had to be done. Anyhow, we wrapped things up, ate, visibly relaxed. Right now, we are sitting at the airport waiting for our plane to arrive to go back to our base. My cheeks hurt from smiling. I went from being the most miserable person to being the happiest. I still wonder if he will ever tell me what went on between him and GD though. Additional information from OP. Of course, things didn't happen exactly like I wrote. There were many things in between that I simply cannot put all here. Even with minimum, it's a long post. For instance, I did not mention having a crush for about 6 months on him. He never made a move and I eventually gave up. Imagine 2 years hanging out with someone every month, sometimes even twice or thrice a month. He would even mention some girls in between for the first year of knowing him. The heck was I supposed to wait for him to maybe one day get an epiphany to ask me out? Also, okay, he did a big thing for me that you'd usually think he would do only for his partner. First, this isn't the first time he did something for me, but he also did for his other colleagues, male. But so many times I did stuff for him out of pure heart. All of us flight attendants and flight crew buy stuff in US because it's like 4 times cheaper. We buy stuff in Paris and London for cheaper. He would see something when I had a visa for US, new shoes, Jordans, new iPhones, iPads. I bought for him, saved him thousands of dollars. Didn't do it to get under his skin. I did for him and anyone else that I was close to. So when he did what he did, I just considered it as something we do, having each other's back. Seems nuclear for you, isn't nuclear for me. Also, nobody got mad. People assumed we were together. We got mad because they said I slept with him. That could have gotten me killed here, y'all. Limited people. Plus, it's really humiliating to think of someone like this in our culture. I didn't fall in love out of nowhere. No, we are just similar people with similar qualities and flaws, and we're self-aware. I like him physically. I could spend hours with him. I don't get bored. He earns well. Of course, I would rather keep him for myself than see him go with another woman. And I went with GD because A, I've been through stuff and I was alone and I just needed a break. B, FO didn't give me signs of life in romantic ways, not ones that I noticed. C, a small part of me hoped I'd get a reaction for going with GD. Reaction being this or being passive to know what I'm dealing with. For 2 years, I surrounded myself with him, distance from all other men, and this guy didn't even kiss me. So what am I doing here? Give me something or get the heck out. And actually, the main reason I thought that maybe he might be a little bit into me is because a few people on Reddit were like, yeah, he likes you, and I was too much of a wuss to ask him directly. So yeah, it's a lot more complicated than it's written here. Also, like I brought some vapes for his mom from Jakarta that she likes, it's not like I just took favors but never did stuff in return. Doesn't work like that in aviation. Another crazy story of love, and what a tangled web that kind of went through. Clearly there's a lot of different cultural differences and things I don't understand completely. They're engaged. That was quick. That was fast. But you know, things work differently than inside of my own bubble, and they're so happy and that makes me happy, and that's all I need to know. It is very crazy that it just started with a little bit of video games, and all honesty, the way that it was written at the beginning of the story, she kind of sounded like the turd. Like she spoke to the other flight attendants, sounded pretty short. Like, hey, just go away. I'm in the middle of something. We'll talk later. Okay? Just shut up. And I'm sure they got their feelings hurt now enough that they have to spread rumors and harass her, and things just kept going deeper and deeper. Of course not. So I thought maybe it was going to be like a reflection that she was going to say, oh, that was my bad. But then it just spiraled out of control. And then it turned up being a romantic story. So you just never know what you're going to find on Reddit, man. Story 4. Boyfriend is going on a bachelorette trip with all females. So, my boyfriend has a female best friend. She recently asked him to be in her wedding as the man of honor. She also has a maid of honor. One of my best friends is also male. Both of us are okay with having friends of the opposite sex. But I don't text my male friend daily and talk to him all day. We check in on occasion, hang out on occasion, and I typically always try to include my boyfriend in the hangouts. My boyfriend goes out to drinks with his female friend and never invites me. Now he's invited on a bachelorette trip. Weekend getaway with a house full of females and drinking. This makes me extremely uncomfortable, and I've mentioned that. Not to mention, I've never had any romantic feelings towards my male friend. He admitted to having feelings for his friend in the past. He brushes it off and acts like I'm overreacting. If I went on a bachelor trip with a bunch of guys for a weekend, pretty sure he wouldn't be cool with it at all. Edit. Ladies and gentlemen, by all means, I appreciate both takes. Am I just being insecure, or would you not be okay with this either? Relevant comments. Commenter. I am truly sorry to be this blunt. If he wants to cheat, he will, regardless of what you allow him to do. I hope he doesn't, but limiting him doesn't change anything. OP. You're right, and I'm not trying to limit anything. They just say you should trust your gut and something doesn't seem right. Again, could very much be overreacting over here. Commenter. Are you friends with the bride/best friend? If not, why is that? This is pertinent information, honestly. OP. No, because I'm not ever invited or included in anything they do. I don't get the chance to get to know her. Meanwhile, I'm constantly inviting him to hang out with me and my male friends to make him more comfortable. OP. Separate comment regarding same question. Absolutely. And I've mentioned that it bothers me that I'm constantly including him and he never invites me. I've mentioned I'd like to go out and get to know them. Still have yet to be invited to anything. I know this sounds so whiny, but I just feel like I want to be the person I love to get to know other people I love. Commenter. As someone who lives with their partner, I can understand wanting to hang out with your friends without them. We're around each other constantly, and it's nice to have time with friends alone. That being said, if my partner literally never invited me out with their friends, that definitely hurt. OP. Right, and I'm very much the same way. I want my own space, have my own life and friends. In no way am I trying to take that from him, but the fact that I am never included is starting to take its toll. Commenter. Something I've not seen in your post and is very critical. How long have you and your partner been seeing each other? OP. Going on 2 years. Commenter. Do you mean to say you've never met this friend? Or you're just generally not included in their time together? OP. Met once, but it was an event a lot of people were going to, and I'm sure our interaction couldn't have been avoided on this occasion. But no, he hangs out with her alone every time and has never invited me. I have brought this to his attention. It was also initially coming from a place of genuinely wanting to get to know his friends. He acknowledged what I said and agreed, but has done nothing to change it. Commenter: why can't you join them? OP: not sure. I'm not part of their friend group or part of the wedding, so I get it. I'm not expecting to be invited or for her to be my BFF either. However, if he really is her best friend, I think she would want to get to know his girlfriend. And if he's as serious about me as he claims, I'd also think he'd want to make an effort for me to get to know her, simply because we are people in his life that he cares about. Commenter: how does the friend's fiancé feel about your boyfriend being there? Does he even know? I can't imagine he's cool having the guy that used to have feelings for his fiancé being drunk with her at an event that is supposed to be the last hoorah before being tied to one person forever. OP: I'm wondering the same. This isn't very nice, but her fiancé sounds like a dud. Pretty sure he barely works while she foots all of his bills. Sounds like she just wants a husband in order to have a child. Not sure if he does care, honestly. Think he's got it made. Commenter: ah, so he is one of those then. Would you describe your boyfriend as the opposite of the bride's fiancé? OP: personality-wise, they could not be more different. Ambition-wise, they're probably about the same. Also probably something I need to start questioning. Commenter: don't listen to people saying you are controlling him. Screw that. This is totally disrespectful to you, and by all appearances, he doesn't care that you are hurt. You aren't allowed to hang out with him and these women. There is a reason for it. Why are you wasting your energy on someone who doesn't give a crap about your feelings? OP: wondering that myself. Just posting because I was curious if anyone out there has had a similar experience while being in a long-term relationship where both parties have friends of the opposite sex. Commenter: I'm saying your boyfriend hasn't given you any reason to trust him on that trip, and you shouldn't. OP: the first fight we got in, he immediately had a girl over. Told me that he thought we were broken up. He's constantly asking me, who are you texting? And wanting to look at my messages. I don't do this to him. I've never entertained another guy. I'd never be so quick as to invite someone else over immediately upon fighting. Granted, this happened a year ago, but I'm human, and I cannot help that a slight distrust has formed based on his actions. Commenter: I would start questioning the relationship. NTA. OP: unfortunately, I'm very much questioning everything now. Thank you. Update 1. Next day or the day after. Update: the battery was dead in his vehicle when he tried to leave yesterday. Then he got a flat tire right before he got home. Karma got him or something. Okay, I know this isn't the update you want, but it's hilarious, and yes, I'm a turd for saying that. We'll try to actually update soon. Update 2. 12 days later. Update: we got a chance to talk in depth. He actually made me feel really good about everything, calmed my fears, told me he actually got drunk and cried to all of his girls about how much he loved me, etc. Bought me a cute little shirt. All good, right? Plot twist. I find out a day later that the bride's fiancé showed up unannounced to the cabin. There was no bachelorette trip. It was literally just the two of them. Needless to say, I'm single. No idea if the wedding is still on. I've blocked everyone. My ex-BF was supposed to be in the wedding. So, what the heck? What the actual heck, y'all? Sounds like his life is currently imploding though, so I'm just gonna let karma keep sorting this out. I think he lost his job because he couldn't show up due to his truck issues, and is probably going to have to move in with his mom. We had initially been talking about him moving in with me. Woo! And this is all in the last week. Absolute scum of the earth. I don't care. I mean, cheating regardless is just a turd move, and to lie and then to try and ignore someone's feelings but then calm them down just for the sake of cheating even more. Like, what did he have to gain? It sounded like he didn't care about this girl in the first place. He really only wanted to be with this taken woman, and he just wanted to spend time with her and go on dates and be alone. Like, I don't even know why he had this other girlfriend to begin with. Just wasting her time. And yeah, you can have friends of the opposite sex. That's not really where the dysfunction in this begins. It begins with not listening to somebody. And if somebody's uncomfortable and you're in a relationship, it is your, not necessarily job, but if you're in a relationship, you should want to care and reassure and comfort them and be like, no, there's nothing. Come along with me. Look at the interactions, see what the deal is, and let me show and prove to you there's nothing weird here. Like, if you love somebody, just care about them. Just care and respect their feelings. And that is at the heart of this issue, was not happening. And furthermore, even if your boyfriend or girlfriend does have a friend of the opposite sex, I get that even if you trust them, sometimes you're just uncomfortable still. And, if that's you right now, if you're a girl and your boyfriend is hanging out with other girls, and you might be like, hey, I trust that you're not going to do anything, but still I feel uncomfortable, or there's a respectful amount of doing that when you're in a relationship. It's not always just about a trust up front. Sometimes it's just about respecting the relationship and respecting boundaries as a whole. So as always, communicate, and every relationship is individual. Know yourself, know your partner, and work through it. And at the very least, do not lie, do not betray the trust, and do not cheat. Otherwise, you deserve to lose your job and move in with your mom and your truck and your tires and every other crap that happens to you. You garbage, okay? Story 5. I threw away my husband's collection and now he won't speak to me. My husband considers himself an art connoisseur when he's not. He filled his home office and the hallway with his collection when he inherited it from his grandfather. The point is that his grandfather got scammed, and most of the paintings, statuettes, and artifacts, fake guns, books, ship models, are fakes or reproductions. Very few real pieces. My husband knows, but he liked it as a kid, so he kept it, adding stuff over the years. He always bought fakes or repros too, saying he likes how they look and he wouldn't bankrupt us like that. To be honest, I couldn't stand that assortment of random knickknacks, especially because they aren't worth a thing. His hallway and office looked like a kid's idea of a museum. He was away on a trip 2 weeks ago, and I seized the occasion to put all the stuff in storage and give a restyling to his office. I figured he'd get upset, but eventually accepted. When he came back, he got silent. I reassured him I didn't throw away any of his knickknacks, just put them in storage, and that I liked his room much better now, and his grandmother should have done the same for his grandfather. He said that the rest of the house is already in my style and he accepted it, but the office and hallway were his space. I reassured him he will like it better with time, but a week has passed and he looks depressed. He stopped spending time in his room, barely talks to me, and even refuses intimacy. He acts indifferent and told me that I can get rid of the few things I kept. I'm starting to think I overstepped. Did I make a mistake? I am considering apologizing and getting his stuff back in the office. Update. Guys, I hear you. I messed up big time and I know it. I'll ask him if he can forgive me and I will get back all his stuff. I'll also offer to display some of his stuff in the living room as a peace offering. Top comments. User 1. Yeah, you disrespected him big time. OP. I see that now. I will apologize and bring back his stuff. I am also going to ask him to display some stuff in the living room. User 2. You did overstep. This is major disrespect. These things were important to him and it doesn't matter if you like them or not. Even if it was the ugliest object you have ever seen, you should still accept his feelings about it. This is about something more than just objects. This is showing him that his opinion doesn't matter to you and that he can't trust you. You should apologize immediately and let him know that you really do realize it was a wrong thing to do. User 3. Yes, you made a mistake. You've been crapping on his hobby for a long time and now you finally took the final step and converted his space into what you want. How selfish of you. Not only should you apologize, you should help him restore his space and buy him a few bad art pieces that he would like. Update. Hey guys, I know I screwed up big time and your comments just reinforced that feeling. I went to my husband, gave him a massive apology, and told him I would really like to get back his collection and get his office and hallway like they were before. I also apologized for going behind his back and violating his safe space the way I did. I also offered to let him display some pieces in our bedroom and living room, and next time he spots something he would like to add to his collection, I am paying for it. He accepted my apology and forgave me. We spent the afternoon getting his stuff back in place. It's not worth it to create a rift between us for this. I might not like his taste in art, but I love this man, and if he's happy, I am happy too. Thank you all for the comments and the tough love. I really needed it. Top comment. User 1. I didn't read or respond to the first post, but wow, what a wholesome, mature response you evolved into. Yes, you way overstepped and were rude AF, but your response to him here shows you are a better human than most. Good for you for accepting growth and seeing what's truly important. It's good to see that you can kind of mature and learn from the lesson, but she said right at the beginning that I knew he would be upset, but I'm sure he'll grow into it later and it'll be just fine. So clearly she knew that it meant a lot to him and you overstepped. You didn't think. And sometimes just not being smart sucks. Not everybody's on top of the game all the time. I'm sure you guys can recall dozens of moments where you messed up with a family member, a friend, or a relationship partner. Certainly I have. But, it's good to apologize and come to your senses and actually, show some maturity and show some respect. And I liked that last line. She said that I don't like his taste in art, but I love this man. And that is kind of the beauty in differences, and the beauty of uncommon ground between you and your partner. Things that may annoy you, things that are different, they're different tastes, they're different attire styles, everything. It's like, this isn't how I would do it, but I love that part of you. I love the differences between us, and I respect those. That's one of the most beautiful things you can have in a relationship, to be like, hey, this is what he or she does, and it's so annoying to me, but I love it. And I wouldn't have it any other way because I love this person. Oh, I love it. I gotta stop reading romantic stories. I'm gonna go broke buying my girlfriend gifts on a whim. Story 6. Would I be the butthole for not wanting to change my baby's name? I'm 8 months pregnant and have been purposefully holding off on revealing my baby's name and gender. But since it's so close, me and my husband invited my parents, his and his sister, Ashley, who's 17. Dinner was going great until we announced we're having a boy and naming him Sean. My in-laws got a little quiet for a moment before my MIL asked if there was any other options we'd consider. We took forever to pick a name. Sean is the only one we could agree on. MIL told us that that's the name of Ashley's old bully who tormented her heavily in school and online during 2020 to 2021, and it got so bad she switched schools. It got a little awkward after that. There wasn't much else to say and dinner ended quickly. My MIL texted me and my husband again to ask us to find a new name for Ashley's sake. Would I be the butthole for not wanting to change it? We were only able to agree on it a few weeks ago. Relevant comments. User 1. Why wasn't your husband aware of the bullying? OP. We were aware of it, but we didn't know all the details, like the name of her bully. Just that it was bad enough she tried to take her own life, which is what pushed my in-laws to have her switch schools. Top comments. User 2. Not gonna lie, I would pick a new name. Not because I had to, but because I wouldn't want my child to have to listen to BS for years about how he shares a name with his aunt's bully, and his mom didn't care enough about their family to pick something else. I fully expect that it's your son who will suffer for this choice, not you. There's a name in my family that's kind of like Sean. It's also my FIL's name. My partner understands it can only ever be a middle name due to the connotation the name has in my family. Either compromise or get used to the idea that your child may have a distant relationship with his branch of the family. User 3. YTA. Usually I'd be on your side, but you commented that the bullying was bad enough she tried to take her own life. I mean, you do have a right to name your kid whatever, but why would you want to do this to a family member? Update. Me and my husband had a long chat with Ashley a few days ago so we could get her opinions without MIL speaking for her. The gist of it was, she said she was surprised, but she'll get used to it. Me and my husband are looking at other names to see if we can find any others we like. Naming my baby Sean isn't a hill to die on, and I see that now. Top comment. User 1. Just in case you haven't thought about the possibility, it's possible that Ashley stated what she did so as to not upset you two. I hope you guys pick a different name. I couldn't imagine your husband wanting the kid to share a name with someone who pushed his sister to try to take her own life. And I'm sure you don't want a strained relationship with your MIL. It seems you like how Sean sounds, but I don't know that it's worth the drama from the MIL, who likely was also traumatized by her daughter's suicide attempt. The name Sean will be a reminder of that to both the MIL and Ashley. This is a very tricky one. I don't necessarily agree with the comments that she would be the butthole because it's like, I don't know, it's naming your kid and not being aware of the name prior. And I can't imagine as a pregnant mom and all that goes into naming a child and the thoughts and the feelings and the stories of, and when they graduate, we'll say, hey, little Sean did this and they did that and Sean's, and you're kind of playing out these scenarios. And I imagine it's very hard to get that name locked in and then to try and give it up quickly or be told that, no, that name's tainted, something's wrong with it, you shouldn't, right? So I think that's not necessarily a butthole move for her to do that, to be like, this is the name I found, and I hope that everybody's going to be okay with it in the future. But she did say it's not a hill that she's willing to die on later. So if she's not that attached to it, I think it's great that she can kind of audible into something else, and they could find something that they love just as much, especially if the family is going to like pester or say this is wrong and you're named after this horrible guy who tormented your aunt and basically we hate him and kind of you. But it's just I think it's more of a timing thing, really. You know, Ashley is still young. This is a recent and fresh wound. So I think in the future, she'll meet plenty of more Seans in this big wide world. And if she was like in her late 20s or something and not 17 and just got bullied like horribly, that it would be different. But you're a product of the situation. You're a product of the circumstances you're in. So, you know, I don't think she'd be the butthole. I think it more so just sucks. I think the situation sucks. I don't think anybody's in the wrong here. I think everybody's just trying to take care and be respectful of people as much as they can be. And that's all you can ask. But as long as the parents and the other side of the family aren't being disrespectful and saying, hey, you can't name them that. You can't do that because we knew this other guy who was horrible. You can't name him that. But what do I know? I don't have kids.